In 2017, the CBI raided NDTV and the homes of its co-founders, Prannoy and Radhika Roy. This was in connection with the Rs 375 crore loan they took from ICICI Bank in 2008. The raid and the case had a domino effect that led to a series of irreversible actions, including the eventual takeover of NDTV by business tycoon Gautam Adani. Now, after 7 years of investigation, CBI has finally closed the case. Reason? They found no wrongdoing in the loan. The closure report by the CBI concluded that this was a normal transaction and there was no violation of law and no criminality. Raids and surveys of newsrooms by central agencies may have become the norm now, but the trend was only just beginning in 2017 when NDTV was raided. It was the news of the year, especially because NDTV was known to be one of the only television channels asking critical questions to the Modi government. Was known.
Sorry.
The raids were criticized by fellow journalists, global media outlets, Indian politicians and journalist bodies. NDTV responded to the raids, saying it was clearly the independence and fearlessness of NDTV's team that the ruling party's politicians could not stomach, and called it a blatant political attack on the freedom of the press. The Enforcement Directorate too filed a case of money laundering and questioned the veteran journalists over a dozen times. In 2019, they were even detained at the airport and forbidden from traveling abroad. In 2022, in a hostile takeover, the Adani Group took over the reins of NDTV by acquiring RRPR, the same holding company through which the Roys had taken the ICICI loan as well as the VCPL loan. So, what does the CBI's closure report say? What were CBI's charges and how did they fall apart? And how was this case linked to Adani's takeover of what was considered broadcast media's last bastion of independent journalism? Let's find out. In 2017, acting on behalf of a complaint by a former NDTV shareholder, CBI filed a case against the Roys, accusing them of corruption and a criminal conspiracy to cheat and defraud the ICICI Bank in foreclosing a loan worth Rs 375 crore. The conspiracy, according to CBI then, was executed through RRPR, NDTV's holding company. They were accused of violating Section 19(2) of the Banking Regulation Act and RBI's Master Circular of 2nd August 1998. It was alleged that ICICI took the entire shareholding of NDTV promoters as collateral and later accepted repayment of the loan by reducing the interest rate from 19% to 9.5%. Back then, CBI's case said that this caused a wrongful loss of Rs 48 crore to ICICI Bank and corresponding wrongful gain to the Roys. But on November 12th of this year, on the basis of CBI's closure report, a Rouse Avenue court concluded that as per RBI's clarification, sanctioning of loans under the NDU POA arrangement does not amount to a pledge. This is because RBI's guidelines do not prohibit granting advances against the primary security of shares to corporate. An NDU POA is a non-disposal undertaking with power of attorney. It is a contract that prevents the holder of a company's shares from selling them. But the RBI said that the bank has actually financed in about 30 cases under NDU POA arrangements till October 2009, whose total loan was up to Rs 15,000 crore, and additionally financed 65 borrowers under NDU POA. About the loss of Rs 48 crore to ICICI Bank and gain to the NDTV promoters, the CBI said that there was no collusion, no criminal conspiracy or abuse of official power by any public servant or bank officer. The repayment of the loan with interest of 9.6% was actually higher than the average cost of funds. On prepaying the loan with a reduced interest rate, CBI said that the proposal for repayment of the loan was approved by the credit committee and the reduction rate of the interest was not out of the ordinary. The bank had actually reduced the rate of interest on 83 loan accounts in 3 consequent financial years, from 2007 to 2010. It has also been concluded that securing a loan under the NDU-POA arrangement does not require SEBI's permission. Nor were there any guidelines for the company to take the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting's permission for pledging collateral of shareholding with any financial company. Another crucial allegation was that the Roys had availed of a loan from VCPL in violation of a law. But the CBI concluded in its closure report that this law came into place years after the loan was actually taken. Now, even though this was all about NDTV, you won't find this information on the channel's broadcast or web pages. What you will find though is several news reports carrying Adani's response to the allegations against him by a US court. Now that's what happens sometimes when corporations or political parties control what you say. At News Laundry, we will never have this issue because we don't take ads from any political parties or corporations. We rely on your support to bring stories that are of public interest. So head on to newslaundry.com/subscription and choose a contribution amount of your choice. And as always, pay to keep news free.
Journalism at News Laundry is powered by the public because when the public pays, the public is served. Visit newslaundry.com/subscription and pick a payment plan of your choice. Pay to keep news free and independent. Your future, and indeed the future of democracy, depends on it.